Drop the left knee to the floor and release the back toes. Now both hands on the right knee climb aboard. I want you to keep your left hand on your right knee and bring your right hand to your right hip. Make sure that right knee stays slightly open, the right hip stays in. Extend both arms up to the sky, just like crescent with the knee on the floor. This is kind of like backwards. I mean, typically you'd start in a low lunge maybe, and then end up working up higher, but I'm looking for a different effect here. Ground game, a lot of times we're too much in our heads and not grounded enough in our body, so this effect I'm looking through the asana. On your inhale, bring your hands to prayer. And then exhale, hands down, tuck your back toes under, back knee off the mat. Now just spin your back foot 45 degrees and flat and work your front leg straight and fold over the front thigh. Now try to keep that right big toe mound pressing down and the right hip in. And if your back foot, like Laura here, is turned forward 45 degrees, you got a chance to work this left hip forward because we're going to twisting triangle, okay? I want you to plant your left palm on the floor so your fingers and toes are on the same line. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Press that left arm straight. Lift your shoulders, left arm. Right hand still on the right hip. Look to the right. Pin that right hip in. Squeeze the left sideways to keep the left hip forward and the left foot sealed on the mat. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Now, Lindsay here, she's got a really strong core, but she's dome in the mid, but she's round in the back, so you got to keep the heart forward. Everybody breathe. You can squeeze the left palm counterclockwise, left hip forward too, keeping the right hip in. One of the most simple yet not easy transitions that you can do here in Zyre Yoga is exhale, right hand down, bend the right knee, climb up onto the fingertips, keep the left foot where it's at, inhale, warrior one. Just keep your right hip in. And the way we keep the right hip in is keeping the right knee open a little bit, and there's a counter pose here where the right foot is squeezing in, but the right knee is open, and that pins the right hip in. Press back with the outer edge of the left heel and sink the right hip a little bit more. Take one more inhale, sit into it, closer to the floor. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Inhale, drift to upper push-up position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, forward or up dog. Strong hands curl back to downward facing dog. Good, lift your left leg, inhale. Left knee, left elbow, exhale, pause. Squeeze the right palm clockwise, roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, grab your left big toe, and extend your left leg up to the sky. Okay, now don't fall back, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that left leg drop back. Keep the core strong and the hips forward. Good, and you're just looking down where your left foot's going to go, right? Really strong in the right sideways. On an exhale, step with that left foot to the top of your mat. Pivot onto the back toes, put the back knee on the ground. Both hands on the left knee, climb aboard, back toes released. Keep the right hand on the left knee, bring your left hand to your left hip. Press that left knee open just a smidge. Sit into the right quadricep hip flexor. Keep that, reach both arms up to the sky. Good, now pause here and sit into it. Now, keep your shoulders, even though your elbows are straight, your shoulders in your body, right? Your heart up out of your belly. Your short ribs drawing into the kidneys. Your hips stabilizing. On an inhale, bring the hands to prayer. Exhale, hands down, tuck the back toes under, back knee off the mat. Turn the back foot 45 degrees and flat, not square, and work the front leg straight. If you got to step up a little bit with that back foot, that's fine, or slide the front foot forward, that's fine. Okay, now again, the left big toe mound presses down and presses the left hip in. You're going to keep the right palm on the floor, squeezing clockwise. Set it where it's at, left hand, left hip. Notice that your right hip isn't dropping and the left sits bone is drawing back and it's staying in. A lot of discipline. It's really easy if you're just going for flexibility to pop the hip out, to let everything go everywhere, but people get hurt that way and I don't want to get hurt. Lift the head of left shoulder, reach your left arm up to the sky. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Okay, you got to discipline yourself and restrain yourself. It's very easy. So I'm going to flexibility, but if you don't have strength to balance that flexibility, you don't have stability, and then you don't have balance. So, and to find strength and stability, you got to restrain yourself and keep things strong within the context of looking for length. Don't move your feet. On an exhale, left fingertips down, bend the left knee, look forward, climb up on the fingers. Inhale, warrior one. Good.